Hi everyone. I am recording this video to tell you more about the state of this PR. So this PR was started to deconstruct the default Dite components, the Dite UI that we have on the meeting page, and provide you with some ability so that you can go ahead and create your own meeting page user interface that you could not do before. So I am going to start by just showing you what was there before. So I'm going to start the server. The server is already started, but I will just restart it in just in case. So this is the running the template. So this is the same template that when you create a new website, this is the content that you get. So I am currently logged in, nothing has changed from the auth side, so you can still create account, you can log in. There is this FTD file that where you can go ahead and specify who is allowed to create meetings or not. Sorry, I don't know what I did to close this. I hope this is visible. Right, so I am logged in with this email. This is test email. I am on local machine. I can put garbage anyways. So I can start a new meeting. I will be able to do one. It's a little slow because of network. I don't know. Anyway, so I am in a meeting. I can join this meeting just fine. Nothing has changed. From this perspective, I've opened a new incognito tab and I'm going to copy. I've copied the URL and I've pasted it here. Since I'm not logged in, I can tell my name, which is definitely not John, but who cares? So I'm going to sorry for the noise. So here you can see this. There are so many of me, but the idea is clear that nothing is broken. So this is what you get with Let's Talk today. So the default UI right now that you see is created by Dite, and if you come and ask me how do I change this, there was no answer, but today there is. So I will tell you the process of changing the UI now. So I'm going to yeah, whatever, let's forget about this. So how do you change the URL? So first off, when you are overriding, there is another variable that's called this meeting page URL. So by default, let me see if I can find the default definition. So meeting page URL, which is this guy. So by default, this is empty and there is some documentation here. So I can override this variable. So I will just do that. And I can say that I want you to go to my meeting. Let's say now what this is basically saying that if I open the URL, you see this goes to /meeting. So this page is created inside of the Let's Talk package. So if you are interested, sorry, this is the page that handles that specific requests. Now what I want to do is to be able to say that don't when I create a meeting, don't take me to that page. Instead, take me to the page where which is this guy, which is my meeting. Now I have to first create this page, otherwise this won't work. But for the purpose of recording this, I have already created a very dirty user interface. This is 76 lines of FTD. I will walk you through what's going on here. But the thing is that you have to at least override this variable so that the meeting that you create will now land on this my meeting URL. So now that we have done that, we also, because in the template you can see the Let's Talk is mounted in the root URL. So this will not work because every request will be handled by the Let's Talk package. We don't want this. So I will say that any request going to /talk/ will be handled by the Let's Talk package. Now, with these two changes in place, the mount point and the meeting page URL configuration, I can visit the URL. And now, as you can see, there is no root URL. So I get this error, which is perfect. But if I visit the talk URL, which is now the new dashboard mount point that I have just changed. Now I can still create meeting, but it should redirect me to my meeting now. So the text is very small, but I hope you can see that the URL is now my meeting and the FTD file that I created in my website. So the template folder is now taking care of this meeting. So I still have to allow for video and audio, so I will do that. Now I have set it so that I am not asked to click on the join button in a waiting area and change my video and mic settings. I am just inside a meeting. So this is a real meeting. It looks ugly. There are a bunch of texts which represent a various states. So they are very tiny. So I'm inside meeting. My it does not tell you what my mic state is. It just gives you a button to mute and unmute. But I can click on video on and off, and my video turns. So I'm clicking on this text and it's toggling my video feed. I can also click on screens here, and the all the functionality that was there is still here. I can still join from. So let me stop this video setting. I'll open it in another page. I am going to join through here, and now you
You
should be able to
should be able to
see
see
two of
two
me,
of,
and you can
and
also
you
see
can
the
also see the
audio. So
audio. So
now that I have
now that I have,
muted from both the places, the audio is fine now. So as you can see, there are two people, and if I go ahead and close this guy, this should reflect that change. So the state is there now in FTD, and you can use that to create a user interface. Now, what the interface that I have created is very ugly, but that's the point, that you can take anything from the meeting page and put it in your UI, which becomes your meeting page. So this is little different from how you typically do overriding with design system package or any other package. So what do I mean by that? I'll first close this guy. Now, so that was all the demo there is for this, relevant for this PR. So what I was saying is, for let's say DS, what you do is inside of FastNFTD, you say that your design system is now provided by my design system.ftd file, and here I can override any of the component, which is what I did if I when I changed this URL. But there is also meeting page. I could have changed the contents of the default meeting page instead of changing the URL. So you could do that, or you could change the URL. So you have both possibilities now. So I could have not done this, but instead I could have redefined this meeting page here somewhere and used the state. I will talk about state later, but I could have done that also. So you have that option. This option allows you to have multiple types of meetings. Let's say that on your website uh, investors summit, or I don't know, food festival is a URL where you want the meeting to look very different. You want the meeting to only have four participants, no more than that, no less than that. uh, so you want the user interface to reflect those conditions. So you can create a specific FTD file for that. You can change this variable, and the new meeting that you create will be catered to your food festival. So that's the idea. Now, not in the scope of this PR, but later, when you are creating a meeting, you should be able to tell which slug you want, uh, you which slug you want this meeting to be handled by. So that's the idea right now. You can have many different meeting pages, but at a time only one can be activated with this URL. And the way to activate would be to open the open your editor and change this variable. So I feel like this is a good start. Now I'll walk you through the code of this my meeting.ftt file, which is the meat part is. So you can see, I hope the font size is big enough. Yes. So the main thing to see here is this state file. So all of the imports are from Let's Talk Fifth Red site. So if you want, you probably don't need this Let's Talk assets that's here from before. Yeah, we definitely don't need any of this. We are not using this. So yeah, that was some garbage. Anyway, so you can see I am importing few components. Those are not like you can uh, you can override those component or you can create your own components. Those are not very complicated user interfaces. So I'll talk about them later. There is a state file and I am also importing DS. Let's see why. So the minimum thing for your meeting page that you have to do is you have to get the meeting ID from URL. So if I, so this meeting ID is now what I want to take. So this is what I am using the request data processor for. And once I have this meeting ID, I have to call this initialize meeting component. Now what it does is it initializes all the Dite SDKs, the JavaScript, and the audio deck. So every participant that is in the meeting, when they are talking, their audio will be set up at a single place and it will be set up by this initialize meeting. So it set ups all your JavaScript. So anything that you want to do, y- your meeting page will have to have these three lines. That's mandatory. Now this auto join, you can set it to false and you will have that waiting area behavior that the default Dite user interface gives you. So by default, it's false, I think. No, I don't think. I think by default it's yeah, by default it's true, but I've still specifying here. So even if you remove it, the auto join feature will be true. So if this is true, you are not going to be in the waiting area. You will be, when you visit the URL, you will be directly inside the meeting. So that's the behavior that in most cases, when you are creating a specialized meeting, this is probably what you want. Now you can see there are a bunch of FTD text calls. So this is just reflecting the state if the meeting is initialized. So when you call this initialize meeting component, what it does, it loads the meeting token from the server. It initializes some web components, some client side state, the Dite's JavaScript SDK. So after all of that is done, this variable will be set to true and you can show some text based on that, or you can show a loading screen. So basically, if the meeting is not initialized, you should be able to do nothing. So loading screen is probably what you want. Now you need to join this meeting. So if so this you will not see if you have auto join true, because if you have auto join true for a moment you will not be inside the meeting, but once the promise JavaScript promise fulfills, you will be directly inside the meeting. So this inside meeting will become true automatically for you. Or if you have set this to false, where is this guy? If you have set this to false, then you can use this join meeting function, which is coming from state. And you can when you click on this button, this function will be fired and then you will be inside the meeting and this inside meeting variable will be true. So this is how all the functions work. So there is mute and unmute, which is state toggle mic, we have toggle video, we have toggle screen share. I think I showed you how screen share is also working, so that's also there. Now, how are we rendering the video? So, as you can see, I am importing two components, the video tile and the screen tile. As I said, the audio is coming from this initialize meeting, so you don't have to set up that for you, because in Like in most cases, what you want is the audio to just work for you, not you don't customize how audio looks, because audio never looks. That's as sorry, think I'm over explaining things. My bad. So yeah, what I was saying, this video tile and screen tile component. So let's talk about them. So this video tile takes a user. So you in the state inside the state file, you have self and you have a list of participants. Both are of the same type. So you can use the video tile component and pass it. So here I am running a loop for all the participants of the meeting, and I'm passing them to video tile, and I am passing myself to video tile. So if I do that, I can see myself on the screen, a video feed for me, and I can see all the participants on the screen, a video tile for them. So this video tile we will take a look at. Screen tile is same but for your screen shares. So what I'm sorry. So let's take a look at how these components are defined very quickly. So there is video tile. Video tile is actually very trivial. So this is what all the video tile is. It's a simple FTD video. Now the magic here is this ID. So if the JavaScript file will inject video feed inside of this element if you have this ID. So if you want to use any other component, you can do that. This is just for reference. And in fact, if you are controlling user interface from outside of this video element, you can pretty much use this, and this because the code becomes very concise, so it makes sense to have it here. Or if you are looking for customization, all you the answer is that all you have to have is a ID with this, and the JavaScript will take care of feeding the video to this guy. So the screen tile is the same except that the ID is prefixed with the screen dash. So that's how screen sharing works. Now let's have a look at the state file. This is heavily documented because this is what this is where most of the things happen. So as you can see, all the functions for screen share, video, mic, end meeting. So end meeting, only the meeting host can do that, but everyone can leave the meeting or join the meeting. So you have functions for that. You have this initialize meeting component, which is this guy. So if you look at the definition, it initializes the talk JavaScript bundle and all that, all the utility functions, etc. And it also initializes sum, which is by default set to true. You can I don't know why you would set this to false, but if you want, there is an option for that. This is what information that you get for the participant, their mic, video, and screen state, and their name. The ID is used for creating the ID for the HTML output. So that's what, and the self, as you can see here, the self variable is also of type participant. So there is a bunch of documentation that you can read on how the state is all supposed to work, when they are null, when they are not null, but this is a detail that you would care about if you are looking to customize, and this will change. So I'm not this may change, so I'm not recording that in a video because video gets outdated very fast. So this is what this entire PR is about. I will change the description after recording this video, and I am not going to add anything to this PR. So it's time that we merge this PR. This has already gone big. So thank you for watching. See ya.